Hello everyone, welcome to this new lesson of our PENPOT course. In this lesson 11, we are going to talk about components. We've already had little components within the very first lesson of the course. In fact, when you find yourself in the main PENPOT dashboard, you have the option to download some generalized or standard components that you can eventually add to your projects. This allows you to start off with a library already full of elements that can come really helpful in creating your first projects. For example, I can go here on Assets. I have this Add Library button. If I click it, I can add some of the published libraries that PENPOT can give you for free. So I am just pressing this plus button in order to look at some of them. Okay, so let's take a quick look to some of these libraries. We have these components named avatars, created by this user named Pablo Stanley. To insert a component in your working area, just drag it with your mouse and go like this. Okay. As you can see, in this case, there's this avatar, even different clothing options, many elements you can personalize your avatar with. You can see how all these clothes follow the same structure, but they are the variants of the same main component. Okay, so let's see how to build a component from zero. So let's press backspace in order to create one. In this lesson, we can still exercise in creating buttons. So I start by creating a rectangle, not worrying about dimensions. To make the work easier, I'll help myself with tokens. For example, I'll start creating a new set named buttons. And I'll create some tokens, for example, for the border radius, color, and the font we're using for our buttons. Let's create our text. I am writing click here. We're just using a default text for the buttons we're creating in this lesson. Okay, I'll help myself aligning these elements with this alignment tool. Okay, let's go changing our first component using these tokens. First of all, Okay, it wasn't activated. That's the reason why you couldn't see the colors I created before. Now the border radius changed from 0 to 30. Um, I am changing its color. I cannot select my text, so I am selecting the text from the layers. All right. Okay, to create a component, I suggest you to select both of them. You can start by creating a group. If you're not sure you selected all the elements you want to create a component with. And again, right clicking on your mouse and select create component. Once a component is created, you will notice a small diamond icon appearing in the left sidebar. Let's rename our first button. At this point, we can copy and paste our first component. You can distinguish your main component from its copies by looking at their icons. In fact, the main component has this filled diamond, while the copies have an empty diamond. Okay, let's try creating some changes to our first component. For example, I want it to become lighter. As you can see, when so our main component changes, its copies are changing too. If we modify its properties, you will see how those properties changes across the copies. However, that's the reason why there's another way to create other copies of a main component, and that's how we are going to introduce variants. In this case, we will distinguish the copies, which which can be technically called as instances, and the variants, which are actually some kind of copies of the main component that will have their autonomous and independent properties. Okay, to do so, let's cancel these copies we created. Let's do this again. I'll go back, make it view. Perfect. If we go here, you will see in the right sidebar there are some features. There's this icon that will make you create a variant. What does it mean? Creating a variant means we will have a much more effective method to create new types of the same element, especially if we want to create new elements that are independent from our original component. In fact, I believe we don't always want a situation where every copy of my very first element changes whenever the first one does. Okay, so variants are useful because when we send them in our library, they automatically are available within the project. Let's try, in fact, changing its properties like this. Inside the same component, we will have different elements. We can give them different values or name. And also, we can change the nomenclature inside here to say what kind of properties we are changing in all these variants. In our case, we are changing the color field. So, for example, I can name our first element, which is to say the first type, as field 1. We can actually rename these two elements in order to distinguish which types we want to um, which properties we are changing inside all the elements we're creating. So, for example, we can rename the first type as field 1, and the other will be field 2. So we have two different values. When we change, for example, its color field, and its text color, variant is created, you can see how inside this selection there are two types of the same main component, which will distinguish in some properties we will decide inside this section. We will have a property we can name as we prefer, for example, type, type of button. This specific property will have different values which will be distinguished based on the properties we can give our button. Let's go here, let's change its properties. For example, I can give our rectangle a white field and our text a dark color. So what does it mean? That our value 2 correspond to this kind of colors, while these standard properties will correspond to value number 1. You can find your component inside your assets. Let's grab it. You can see you have the possibility to choose the variant you prefer inside this bar. Let's go back to our button. When we press the plus, we will have new elements creating. Let's create our layout. We can change the spacing. Let's create new values corresponding to other properties. For example, I will make this other button with a gray color. If I want to create a variant of my button with a different background color, we can actually just take our component, the easiest way is to actually create a copy of this one, right-clicking and select the touch instance. When we are doing that, we are ensuring that whenever we changes its properties, those changes remain irrelevant to the main button, which actually solved the problem we had before. These are two different ways to achieve a similar result. However, creating variants within the same component is definitely better. In fact, it allows you to organize all different types in the same group, and inside your library, all these different types are actually detectable within the component you created, as I already showed you. The difference is that with a standard copy, which is independent, it will not be saved as a proper component yet. In fact, look at our layers section. This is a component, but this is actually not a component yet. So you have to manually remember to manually go right-clicking and create a new component like this. These two will be saved as two mains and not as two different variants. So the second method actually takes more time to create new objects and remains a valid alternative if you aren't yet comfortable using the variants feature. Okay, thanks for your attention for this lesson. It's all. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.